my sound preferences are. I like bass. And if it can have quantity and quality, yeah, I'm rocking it. Especially mid bass. I like the slam over the sub bass rumble. I like my mids super clean. Not a big fan of overly colored, overly thick, overly warm mids. Not a big fan of that. And highs that are very sweet and seem to be able to keep up without ever being overbearing or in your face. So hello, welcome back. Today I just wanted to share another one from a loaner I borrowed from Seekin. Thank you very much. This is his Thieaudio Monarch Mark IIs. Now, these ones came out in 2022. They were $1,000. And if you were thinking about maybe picking up a set on the used market, I just wanted to share a little bit with you because I was also very interested as well. Now, I own the Thieaudio Oracles original, which I happened to buy off of Seekin, and you're not getting it back. And I really love that set for its sub-bass focus, but it's a little bit warmer. I love its tuning. It's very nice in the top end. That's a 1DD 2BA2 ESTs, and it was still selling for $539. Now, Thieaudio is a house brand of Linsole, so it's the only place you can buy it. And they do quite a few releases. Just to give you a little history, in 2021 was when the original Oracle came out. And then in... actually, let's take a step back. The original Monarch Mark I's came out in 2020. The Oracle came out in 2021, and to much acclaim as well. Then in 2022, this set, the Monarch Mark II, came out, and this was talked about as a noticeable improvement, and I haven't heard the original, in its bass and its bass texture and its treble and a treble extension. So for all means, it sounded like a definite improvement. Then out came, after that, the Oracle Mark II, which did not get very favorable reviews. It wasn't just a simple retuning, polishing. It was a complete butchery, and it didn't get received well. Then in 2023, the Thieaudio, at the end of 23 last year, the Monarch Mark IIIs came out, and it seems that Linsol has kind of really fine-tuned what they were kind of looking for in that series. And then this year came out with the Oracle Mark III, and it kind of follows along a bit, taking some of the DNA from the original Oracle and taking, I think, from what they learned from the Monarch series. So at $1,000, obviously, I think this set doesn't compete in the landscape out now, but if you were looking at picking up maybe a used set, I wanted to share my impressions with you, or my thoughts at least, if you were thinking about maybe picking one up. And I'll make this one pretty quick. So this one is a single DD, 6 balanced armatures, 2 EST drivers. And what's interesting about this set is it's not only using the dynamic driver for base, it's also using 2 sub-balanced armatures for the low end as well. Let's talk about that bass. It's actually still very sub-focused. Overall, I would say the bass is fairly good. Again, I prefer my tonality more mid-bassy, more faster, speedier, to make the male vocals and instrumental sound a little bit more balanced and correct tonality-wise. Here, the mids stay clean. Male vocals play a bit thin in the note weight, where the Oracle has a warmer tonality to it, the original. Then this also translated to instrumental, I found as well, played a bit thin. Here, the treble, I think, is very well done. Still lots of sparkles and details. Those ESTs, I think, in all the Thieaudios have been done very, very well. After listening to the Monarch Mark II and comparing it to the original Oracle, and one of my newer sets, the Alpha Omega, I could pick up that the Oracle, for me, I like the bass and the bass texture better on the Oracle than I actually do on the more expensive Monarch Mark IIs. I like how it comes across a bit warmer, and same as in the mids, and that's where I think the big difference was between the two, where the Monarch Mark II added some more energy from about 1.5 to 3K, and that does make a airier, drier, a little bit more forward presentation in mids over the Oracle. And after listening to the two with my preferences, I still prefer the Oracle over, again, the more expensive one. Now, I think in this whole landscape and these two side by side, I think when the Monarch original came out, it had some bit of flaws, and they took that feedback and they made a little bit of the Oracle and the special sauce that it has. And when they messed up on the Oracle Mark II, but did a better job on the Monarch Mark II, things were going in the right direction. And both in the Mark IIIs, it seems that that's the trend as well. But I just can't help but feeling that the Oracle came out to fix some of the original flaws of the Monarch, and they never quite replicated it yet. I think the Monarch Mark III and the Oracle Mark III might be the best two out of the series, though I have yet to hear the Oracle Mark III. But the Monarch Mark III was nice, and I did a review for it, but it's something that I didn't find special or engaging for me. And again, it didn't best the Oracle for my preferences, even though it was more drivers and more expensive. When I was listening to just a couple tracks, Flight of the Cosmic Hippo, I'm listening for its bass texture, its hit, its tonality, the whole bit for instrumentals as well. I found the Monarch Mark II's, the sub-bass hits, but on that playback, it almost sounded like the mids were kind of recessed. It had nice top end and sparkle. Bass had great rumble, but not great texture and details, and not enough mid bass to get the hits or the snap done properly, like I think this track should be played back. And another one, D, from Randy Rhoads, the studio outtakes. Here I'm listening for the timbre, the tonality, and the micro details, or resolution as some people call it, in the plucks of the guitar and the nuances that you should be able to pick up, and the harmonics that come off of the strings to make it sound natural. And I don't think the Monarch Mark II did a great job. I think the guitar really sounded hollow and thin, where the Oracle, because of its little bit warmer tonality, played it better, and it with better resolution and timbre. So 4 BAs less, but it did a better job in my opinion. Way Down Deep by Jennifer Warren. She has a unique voice, great recording. Where the Oracle's bass here was deep and had more texture, as was the weight and the timbre of her vocals I enjoyed. Where it's something wasn't quite correct for me on the Monarch Mark II. The sound of her vocals just sounded off. And that's kind of the overall for me how the Monarch Mark II played. I think if I was looking for one of these in this series, I would still probably find, you can still buy the original Thieaudio Oracle. I think it's still relevant. Or if you wanted something, I think as an improvement, maybe the Mark III. And if you wanted to step up, you could go into the Monarch Mark III as well. But again, I'm not sure how competitive it is in the market right now with what we're seeing out there in current releases. Some companies are stepping away from EST drivers because companies like Knowles and Sonyan are stepping up with their super tweeters. But I think EST still, for me, add some kind of special sauce. And when they're implemented correctly, you get a great result. So overall, I think I appreciate the listen. But the Monarch Mark IIs are definitely not for me. It doesn't do enough to special sauce wise over the Oracle, and they're tuned very similarly, but I just don't think there's the value added in there as the higher end. You're better off going to the Oracle, in my opinion, or the Mark III. That's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it.